Power on.
Invasion. Watch for democracies, hypocrisy, philosophies, fear and shock factories, pseudo-pop mockeries and poppy fields, blocking swinging chops without Moroccan shields. Industry, the mind, throw verse and spokes and stopping wheels. Coffin fields empty, buried in the battlefields. Working on the streets is walking in some cattle shields. King Alfred Gruesome, love a mental snoozing, sleepwalking and talking, cell phones are soothing. Minds disappearing, genetic memory erasing. Don't even have a job, but they get you for tax evasion. Hot like a frying pan, crying fam, lying men. Use gadgets, firemen, no loyalty, just buying friends. No credit, debt slaves, walking over paved graves. Enslaved, enraged, marriage to death prearranged. Mike Sufi Genie, bomb tracks bikini. Stupid niggas call my feds bucket hat when they see me, but won't ask a thing or drink the water that I bring. But when the Pope comes, they kissing on his ring. They rather drink a rapper's flow from the black fountain. Piper got the dead, lined up in the thousands. Confusion with illusions, infusion with sorcery. Won't give up my birthright no matter what they offer me. No deal. Push the red button, I'm going home. Close my eyes, meet Yasanel in Vendome. The fire that we put on roll, make their walls shake. Islamism grand chic, not spelled like shake. Open minds, not sky, don't when you enter my zone. I wouldn't call it murder when I snap the neck of my clone. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Peter's face the harder, no making me a martyr. Third eye and larger, aura is my armor. When I plant a seed in my soil, rhyme farmer. Use the alma rap sorta like an almanac. Keep listening to sleepless hip-hop insomniac. Moorish MC, call me that acquiesce, don't call back, just fall back. Any rapper after 95, all whack. Their flow just trickles like drops on icicles. Rappers need training wheels on their rhymesicles. Keep people's mind pickled in a lost realm. When it comes to Moorish MCs, I'm at the helm. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Peter's face the tartar, and no making me a martyr. Third eye and larger, aura is my armor. Aura is my armor. Invasion. Trying to escape with the Moorish temple charter. Peter's face the tartar, and no making me a martyr. Third eye and larger, aura is my armor. Aura is my armor. Aura is my armor. Invasion. King Boom.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know the true our leaders started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know the true our leaders started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know the true our leaders started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know the true our leaders started dropping it.
Dirty Moors still attempt to infiltrate the order. Active Moors are truth and take it to the corners. Across highways, past hedges and through borders. Move on dirty Moors like broken down waters. Watch out for agents and provocateurs trying to get next to the heads with the doctor's cures. They never pay dues and don't pay dues. Contradicting with King Alfred to give blues like news. Noble Drew Ali died from Palemore blues. Prophet saved him his money before the floor fell through, and that's true. Even though I don't have proof, still memory tells me don't fall for spooks. Drop mental nukes, hanging from their own vine from the fig tree. Looking up at them like Big B. No white flag or mercy for you fags. 5 point and pentagram is on our flag. Green, but not for cream. That dirty Moors took to throw off the balance of the Grand Treasury books. Getting offers like high school ballers. Those that infiltrate are not Moors but robbers. Robbing the people blind, deaf, dumb and crippled. They can't tear this up, not one drop or trickle. No matter how hard they try to perpetrate the the fraud. Dirty Moors always fall on their sword.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it.
Me now play with on us so simmer and easy. From 19 how long me see it's sleazy. So sick it's measly and disgusting. Everyone stood there. The Moors did nothing when Drew was attacked. They took the covenant that they will protect him and have his back. They hand on dues by 4 months. Going to kangaroo courts to perform stunts. Temples versus temples. Lawsuits from inner fights. Not doing their job. 3,500 for birthright. Mufti Force left supposed to be in Gucci stores with God. Thank Allah for the Sufi Moors and Buddhist Nagas. Moorish mic renaissance, not rap sagas. Confusion clearer. MC battle scar wearer. Moorish nationality declarer. Straighten out the crooked ways. Rap conduct squarer.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it.
Let me strip them down, I'm the bone bearer. Negro, black, colored minority, death preparer. Not the being, but the label attached. See me like Martin, going crazy, waving gas. Cause you call yourself black, that's a kick me sign on your life. Can't stab your enemy holding the blade of the knife. Numbskull MCs flow so dull that I'm pulling down Orishas like skull caps to torture the rapper, scissor sippers. Rapper, CD scratcher, insert ripper. Call me Jack and get slapped though. Admiral when I flow, major like macro. Don't spit on a cameraman like Pac will, but beat the case like Black Bill but no lawyer. Ask Jim Carrey, liars do nothing for you while they get rich and poor you. Make you follow magistrate orders that get the coke to snort from hood corners and blocks ghetto. All I see is rappers, dress codes, repedo, tight shirts, skinny jeans looking like heavy metal bands. I'm not Bay but L like Gred and Hands. I grab mics, no sweat in hands. With birthright brands, I don't worry about getting scanned.
The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it. The problem is we started thinking like the colonists to know what drew our leaders, started dropping it.
What up?
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th date. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes it a literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th date. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes it a literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight. But people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the rate's still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astro plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of paradise. past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gate Cemetery, February the 4th date. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil little a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight. But people still can't see it, so the snake's still showing up. Stakes still high, so the rate's still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile, reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real, all I see is false evidence, they are feminists, stomped on by elephants, won't let go prejudice but want Moorish benefits, when you feel the pole magnetic resonance, Apis horns of the sacred book all maleficent, great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence, ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again, use energy right, not put spell effects on men, wandering the earth plane with no veil of shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades, it's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets, holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday, war ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Want to give it a try? Peace to all the wars worldwide. The few and faithful Moors. Honors to you. Honors to you. FinalCall.com. Memorandum 46. FinalCall.com. Memorandum 46. This document is Exhibit 10 of U.S. Supreme Court case number 009587. 009587. National Security Council Memorandum 46. March 17th, 1978. March 17th, 1978. Right. Presidential review. To Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Director of Central Intelligence. Subject: Black Africa and the U.S. Black Movement. The President has directed that a comprehensive review be made of current developments in Black Africa from the point of view of their possible impacts on the Black movement in the United States. The review should consider long-term tendencies of social and political developments and the degree to which they are consistent with or contradict the United States interests. 2. Proposals for durable contacts between radical African leaders and leftist leaders of the U.S. black community. 3. Appropriate steps to be taken inside and outside the country in order to inhibit any pressure by radical African leaders and organizations on the U.S. black community. For the latter, to exert influence on the policy of the administration toward Africa. Remember, that was 1978. It's 78. So we're going to go to their boy. We're going to go to their boy, Chancellor Williams. Destruction of black civilization. Because that's the whole thing about why Final Call. You already know that's NOI in them. And they're pushing this Memorandum 46, the black guy, and they're going to do this to the black man and the black woman. Don't forget, this is their boy, Chancellor Williams. The destruction of black civilization. Remember, this is their boy. This is their black scholar guy. This is their black scholar guy. Keep in mind, this is their black scholar guy. Page 318. But the apprehension of whites about the possibility of real black unity appears to be quite as needless now as in the past. For we are still in the meeting and talking stage of our history and appear not to be even ready to begin the attack on the obviously built-in obstacles. These have been pointed out over and over again in this study. They had to be emphasized and could not possibly be overemphasized because in addition to the historic reasons for our own self-generated disunity, no other non-white people on earth are in the dangerous situation of having so many of their leaders selected, appointed, sponsored, or financed by the white ruling class. In the case of blacks in the United States, and the same is true of blacks elsewhere, these Negro heads of important institutions and organizations represent the white man's indirect rule over the black community. It is the voice of these leaders that is accepted as the voice of the race. They do indeed have a great following, drawn almost entirely from the traditional Negro elite or upper middle class. Lawyers, government officials, doctors, professors, school administrators, scientists, engineers, heads of integrationists, organizations, etc. They are essentially anti-black, anti-African, and therefore anti-black studies. Hence, their frantic drive for integration, which of course will effectively check the alarming development of pride in a race, a sense of cultural identity with one's own bloodline, and a growing knowledge of being members of a race with a record of achievements unsurpassed by any other people, despite the conversion of so much that was black to white. So we'll just stop there for a sec. We'll stop there for a second. So this is their Negro black African leader, Chancellor Williams, telling you the same stuff Noble Drew Ali been telling you since the 20s. Get off your ass. Stop sitting around waiting for these leaders to do something for you, because all of them are from the Negro elite. And the only one who wasn't was Noble Drew Ali. All your nigger leaders were either in the Negro elite or they were like Drew Ali, where nobody could even argue with anything that he's saying. You know, Europeans arguing with Drew Ali about what he's right or wrong about something. Anybody mad at him for what he did in the 20s? But who was the ones chasing around with him with a knife and all that stuff? It was Moors, wasn't it? Who was it that murdered people to trump up charges on him so Chicago police could kick his ass and all that stuff? And then release him to these same traitors? Who was it? Now keep in mind, Noble Drew Ali told all these people in the 20s, he told these people, name some of the marks that were put upon the Moors of Northwest by the European nations in 1774. Negro, black, colored, and Ethiopian. Negro, a name given to a river in West Africa by Moors because it contained black water. And then if he's talking about Northwest, and then he's talking about Africa, obviously he's not talking about Al-Kebalan. So when people who are debating Moors and they're looking over there for some river, when Negro Spanish, why are you looking in Africa for a Spanish word? Are you dumb? Why are you looking at Africa? Over there. Why don't you look at Africa here? And see if there's some black water rivers. There's black water rivers because the colonists were already here. He's talking into 1774, and they already dammed and did all their BS. 1774, that 1492 they came here. So they've been doing their BS up until 1774. So water turned black. What is meant by the word black? Black, according to science, means death. So if we dip the cup in the cesspool and tell you to have a drink, obviously you won't have a drink of the cesspool water. Why not? You're black. Black is beautiful. And black is who our people are. And black is everything universal and positive and all that stuff. Okay, so why don't you drink the cesspool water? That's black. Oh, but you're not gonna do it because black water, that means death. And you don't want to die. So you're not gonna drink the cesspool water. Because black, according to science, means death. And that's in the earth realm. And in the law realm, when you call yourself black, you're saying you're dead. That's not a Moorish opinion of something because some Moors did some meditation or whatever like that, and they came back from wherever with this science. So this is already established in law. That black means death in law. That's what it means. Don't get mad at Moors because we're saying we're not black. Because we're looking at it from a law perspective too. And from a law perspective, if you say you're black, you are directly saying, I'm dead. And if you're dead, why would rights apply to you? You're dead. What dead people care about rights? Don't they see them take dead people's stuff? If they had a right to keep their stuff, why did they take their stuff? Because they're dead. And then our people are claiming to be that. When Drew Ali told these people in the 20s that black, according to science, means death. Oh, but he's not done. He's not done. Let's get back to Chancellor Williams right here. He's not done. Right, so now that you know black means death, every time you hear these scholars, these black scholar guys, call people black and say black community and all that stuff, without qualification as to why they're doing that, because people are dumb and that's all they understand, but they're not telling them that. They're gonna. So, as we go through, when you hear black, when you hear Negro, you know now that Negro's a river. You know people called Negro. Right? Just like Moors was talking about last night. Are you Afro something? You're African? You're Afro-American? So you're dead. Your hairstyle and your inanimate objects. Obviously, you can't be that. Obviously, this is why Noble Drew Ali came, because he's seen all this stuff coming from back then. That now you're buried under black now. They got Black Excellence Awards and all that stuff now. People are happy to represent death. Because they don't want to hear what Noble Drew Ali said. They listen to their black scholars though. But even their black scholars is cussing them out and letting them know that it's your own. You know, white, black, BS. It's your own. The Negro elite. They are essentially anti-black, anti-African, and therefore anti-black studies, anti-death studies. Hence, their frantic drive for integration, which of course will effectively check the alarming development of pride in race, a sense of cultural identity with one's own bloodline, and a growing knowledge of being members of a race with a record of achievements surpassed by any other people, despite the conversion of so much of that was black to white. This, the Negro leadership, would destroy every at its inception by forcing the black youth of America more directly under white education, direction, and control. A vengeful striking back at black youth for starting a revolt against their mental enslavement in the first place. In a panel discussion with 3 other university presidents, the head of one major white university said, "Integration is a very misleading term. Our black students are as separated from the white students as they are in general society, and they know it. They come because of the vast number of special scholarships offered to them. This is a wise program from our point of view. It brings more of the future black leaders into a more traditionally American environment. We are not disturbed by their demand for black studies, for these, of course, will be gradually phased out as their emotions cool. Remember, that's head of university guy who's on the modern European side. And then they have their Negro leaders that they put to talk for them. Because if they talk, then it's going to be some race, whatever like that. Because these people are quote unquote emotional beings. So because they're emotional, they're only going to deal with them on a certain frequency. That's going to trigger their emotions. To the point where they, remember, the whole thing with the military coming out to make sure the black students can go to the school with the white students, and they're getting their ass kicked because the white guys don't want them there, and then now they're in there, and then everybody's separated. Everybody has their little clique, their little corner. You know, and then you have the one or two who go on both sides. They dabble in the white and the black. You know what I mean? The same game. Ran on you by your own. That same month, May 1971, a Negro professor declared, "Black studies are ridiculous in any university. I am not black, and I will not join this new hypocrisy." Right, that was 71. 71. At 71, there was supposed to be no more black after all that. And there wasn't. How'd he get back in? Because our parents knew, right? 50s parents. 50s parents knew that they weren't black. '50s parents taught their children that they're not black. So 70s children of the 50s parents, they got taught we're black. That was something that was brought in. That was brought in. Now check this. On a recent TV program, the head of a quote-unquote militant black movement went even further. In response to a question, he said, "Look at me. I am neither black, Negro, nor African. I am a Moor. My roots are in Asia." He was born in Mississippi. But the moderator pressed, "You call your movement a black movement?" "Ah," the Moorish leader replied. That strategy, apparently satisfied that the black masses did not hear him, or if they did, would not understand. There's Moors dealing with that right now, putting this info on people. Either they're deaf and they can't hear, or they just don't understand. This is just not registering in their brain. How can we not be black people? And when you go deeper into it, This is why you have to go to the scholars of the melanated mind, like Dr. Amos Wilson, who definitely, he has VHS and DVD. Guaranteed he has VHS and DVD. Like Garvey's our prophet, right? Oh, so if he's talking about Garvey, you think he didn't know what was going on? Let's just see how much he really knew, because again, we're just gonna we keep using their scholar guys, right? Blueprint for Black Power, Amos Wilson. We keep using their scholar guys just to show you that these people are selling you out, because everybody knows. We just showed you that Chancellor William knows. Obviously, he knows. Page 613. The accomplishments of American Indians in the economic and social spheres just noted, and the positive future economic prospects they express, are not merely founded in their sense of nation and ethnicity. More important still is their ownership of ethnic pride, their expectation to succeed, and their irresistible drive to liberate themselves from dependency and political powerlessness. In fact, communal ownership seems to have facilitated the accumulation of wealth by the tribes. The growing economic accomplishments of the Indian nations provide many lessons for the African American community. They teach us the possibilities inherent in the cooperative ownership of productive properties and resources, as well as the possibilities inherent in acting in concert based on ethnic identity and consciousness on a collective intent. I think Drew Ali had 101 questionnaire. Why do you think he had Holy Quran with Moor Science Temple? Why do you think he had Divine Constitution? What do you think he did that for? For that same ethnicity, identity, culture, all the stuff that are people claiming that this European took from him. He gave it all back. He gave it all back. And opposed to us taking it and saving ourselves, we're following after nigger leaders, who all of them know what's up. All of them know that we're not Negro, black, colored, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Supposed to be redeemed from the sinful ways. Just because they thought this was a joke and unreal. They thought this was joking and real. Now they're complaining. Why are you complaining? You didn't want the prophet? No problem. It's death and destruction. Death and destruction. That's what you're going to get. Because you keep listening to the nigger leaders. And you already know people are going to listen to the nigger leaders. We already know that. That's a fact. It's also a fact that all these people know about Noble Drew Ali and what he brought. And opposed to them telling you what's up. Opposed to them telling you what's up. They're going to be doing their scare you stuff. Remember what black is and all that, right? Black Africa and the U.S. black movement. That's a there's nothing called Black Africa. There's nothing called that. Why is Final Call presenting to you bold-faced lies? And then why are you going with it? Are you that much in love with your sellout leaders that you really let them do whatever? Well, I guess so, because all your sellout leaders got sex tapes and all that stuff. Like, you really just letting the sellout leaders get away with this stuff? They're supposed to have a publication, newspaper, magazine, whatever. And there's truth that's supposed to be there. Truth should be presented. Truth should be presented. But they just keep presenting lies, and then Moors are telling you, well, you know they're lying to you, and then you're looking at Moors, and you want to debate Moors about Noble Drew Ali have... What do you mean you're debating something? How are you going to sit there and let these people tell you about some black Africa when there's no such thing as Africa? And if you're talking about Africa, you're talking about over here, not over there. And if you're saying black, you're saying death. So why would they have a problem with dead stuff? Why would the U.S. black movement be looked at by some modern Europeans as being some threat or something? It's dead. You really creeping by the lion carcass? You're just creeping by the lion. Oh my God, I don't want the lion to get me. It's a carcass. Well, what do you... It's just a shadow. What are you talking about? Something's in there pulling you in. What are you talking about? But this is where people are at. Which is why, you just stick our head out the veil, shoot the flare. And Drew Ali said, wait, sit there for an hour and a half. If nobody comes, then take the chart off the wall and go home. Yeah, at least do that. Make yourself available for an hour and a half. They got an hour and a half. If they don't respond or whatever like that in an hour and a half, then it's on them after that. And then Drew Ali said that. So don't feel bad and stuff like that when, you waiting for Moors to give back that book that you lent him 500 years ago and all that. And then people lose stuff. Hey, you got that book? I think I lost it. Black, anything, anyone talking like that is selling you out. And Drew Ali told you what these things mean. Drew Ali told you what these things mean. There's absolutely no reason for them to continue this charade. They're only doing it because they sold out. It's the only reason they're doing it. The only reason they're doing it. That's the only reason. So again, now you say we're just setting off the flare for the two people in the back. The boat been left the dock. We got time. We got stuff to do. Active, not passive. But again, as soon as more start talking about certain things, now the Moors are condescending. The Moors don't want to accept. No, it's not. It's not nothing to do with any of that. Nothing to do with any of that. Has to do that. One, we got a prophet. He told us that we're not Negro, black, colored. And then you're telling me all these Negro leaders calling you black. When Drew Ali said you're not black. And then you're going with these people after Noble Drew Ali. When you're talking about you're supposed to be honoring foremothers and forefathers and know your history and all that stuff. Well, why are you listening to people who set up Martin to get murdered? Why are you supporting people who told you Malcolm was our traitor? We dealt with him like we deal with traitors. And then you have the guys who they say murdered him, they're going to be released and all this. That doesn't fly. You sold out. You already said it. And then he's on VHS and he has VHS and stuff like that. He's somebody. Final call? How come they get the final call? Like what? There was people before them. And there was people before them, then who are these people talking crazy? And again, pushing this black thing on the people. Because Moors can't tell Moors anything. Moors are students and all that stuff, and they're living their life. You're not telling no true Moor anything. Not putting them on to anything. This is for uplifting fallen humanity. Once you get past uplifting fallen humanity, you're on your own. Go do what Allah wills. Don't do what the Lord self wills. Do what Allah wills. You keep doing what the Lord self wills, you're not gonna be here. And neither with your generations. Right? You're gonna be like Terminator, sending the stuff back to murder you because they already know you're the one. Just because you found out about this info, that you're not Negro, black, colored, you're a Moor, and you actually are vibing with that. Yeah, you're the one. That's the unplugging. That's the jumping from building to building. Not falling in between. Not getting caught with ladies with red dresses and all this. You know, you blink and you know something. You're the one. Don't worry about all those people around there talking crazy and trying to. That's why you put up the stuff with the Turks today. So I put up the Turks. Because a Moor trying to put people on or whatever. You know, new Moor just came into the info. Right? And just putting people on, you know, of who we are. They're sending him SETI and all this. I'm like, SETI? SETI? I'm like, okay, put them onto this, bro. Put them onto this. That Turks ain't some pale people. Right? All these Turks, you can just pull it up. Turks. And they're up there. Just like they told you with the TikTok, and they control the algorithm. Right? It's the same thing. They control the algorithm. So you're seeing, they control the algorithm to the point that you're seeing pale people and people saying that, oh yeah, those pale people are Turks, and then you're going with that. And then gave them all the stuff where we beat up on all those people. Because the black whoever's there, they've been done. They've been done since Drew Ali. When he put the hex on them that we're not Negro, black, colored. Anybody who gets that as a mindset, you break the hex that they have on you. Now you could actually start evolving. But you're not evolving with that hex. You got 800 million and gold and rubies and land and all that stuff. You say you're black, you don't have jack. All you gotta do is wait you out. Just wait you out. Just like these Moors waited out Supreme Grand Sheiks and all like that so they could get in the seat. And now that they're in the seat, now they're doing madness. Flags backwards and all this. Saying there with no Jwali, not reading the stuff to be read every meeting and all that. But they're with the prophet. Same game. Your own. You know, European looking Turks. And if there are some, they're gonna tell you, yeah, we come from dark skinned people, right? We're not the founders. People before us. Ahmed Ali was a Turk. And he doesn't look like a modern European. He doesn't look butterscotch. He's a Turk though. He's Turk. Now he's a Turk. And he doesn't look like the pale people. Then that means this whole time Seti lied to people. This whole time he lied. And you did nothing about it. You sat there and let these people play games with you. You saw them touching your daughter's knee and you just stood there watching them. You saw them too. You know they did it. You know he rubbed his pelvis on your son's back. You know that he did it, but you didn't do anything. You just sat there and let him do it. You just sat there and let him do it. Now you're complaining about somebody kidnapped somebody. Somebody got raped, oh my gosh. How come when, before the rape happened down there, you didn't do jack? Well, you complaining now. Don't complain now. You're too late for complaining now. You effed up. And you shouldn't have effed up because the prophet came since the 1920s and brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now you have NOI people telling you some BS about some memorandum they want to kill black guys and all that stuff, and you're panicking as if you're not dead already. You big dummy. You're already dead. You're dead already. Just by saying you're black. Oh, you can't be condescending. Oh, shit. Here we go. These guys. You know what? That's why Moors just go and do their business. They ain't even concerning on these people. They ain't nothing. No concern whatsoever. No concern. We're just gonna go over here and do whatever it is that we should be doing as Moors. Once in a while, you know, we pop up. We pop up. I could say put a beam out. See who sees the bat signal. If you don't see the bat signal, then get out of here. Because active, not passive is, you know, no matter what you think you gotta do, you're always doing something else too. Whatever you think is important, there's more important stuff. And you gotta deal with it. That's just what it is. Active, not passive. Tried to school this more, and he was happy. He was happy. He didn't even see the Alim lecture. He didn't even see the Alim lecture. Like, you have to watch the Alim lecture. They can't bring up Seti to you. Especially as a Moor. Yeah. You watch that lecture. That Alim. Just his part. Don't worry about Seti's part. Just go watch Alim. Just skip past all Seti's part. And just watch Alim. Right? Because it, you know, like the Moors say, undefeated. It wasn't even a contest. Not even Moors, any of these people, whoever their name is, I can go in the phone and I'll pull 5 Moors, debate any of these people. Put that one out there. Whether they're Moors, whether they're Hebrew, whether they're ancient Egyptian, whether they're holistic, whether they're whatever they are. Whatever. Let's debate it all. Let's debate it all. All the whoever been on Brother Rich, all whoever been on House of Consciousness, all whoever been on House of Ram, let's put it all up. I'll go with my phone and pick 5 Moors to debate any of you people. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
So it has right here in the dictionary, Moor. And it has the part of speech right under it. Next to it says noun. And it says a black person, man or woman, Negro. Then it has in italics, black in small case, plus, then it got Moor capitalized. There's identity right there in the dictionary. It was never even really hidden. You tell these people they're Moors, they say, what religion is that? They are so asleep. The sorcerers did a good job. And we're battling sorcerers. Of course, if we come out talking that way from the door, you'd think we're out to lunch. You understand? People, it's sort of like our arrogance, our poisonous and toxic self-righteousness has cursed us for quite a few generations. We got to fix it.
Rapper Inquisition. Iron Sheik inducted, now a secret chief. Floor Lord of Vic rappers, Mike Sharif. Got producers giving me free beats like Hanif. Cause when I flow, it's deep like a coral reef. Wash up, rapping jellyfish on the beach. Nothing to hide, show my face when I speak. Black power cartels are black Charles Martels. Hammer their points dull, just like colors pastel. I drop it so hard that you need a hard hat. Rappers take off like Sleepy Hollow heads off on tarmac. You be black, but those whose skin is brown got their own convenience stores and temples in your town. Got politicians in their back and front pocket. Use nationality to protest so pigs can't stop it. Sorta like they can't stop the prophet. No, not J. Rue, but the prophet Noble Drew. Most say who when that name is called, but no Abraham, Isaac, Cain and Paul. They know rappers' real names and the b-ball stats. They know cars' names and religious holy cats. Claim they know it all, I see their mentals crazy. When I'm on the mic, rappers begging for the fat lady, begging for Jehovah and Slim Shady, begging for no physical but want mental slavery. Brain dead masses under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay. Brain dead masses are under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay. Shane Sparks and Mark Houston types got your daughters kissing their friends like entertainment dykes. LGTB and the rest of the crazies use rap and R&B to force right your babies. Fam, I used to know to sell crack to scabbies. I'm now legit with businesses, not baby daddies. Codes of the street gone, everybody's got beef. Youths beef with their mom's friend's son from across the street. False flagging by the way they dress, more so fagging. Wants thing to move with the horse behind the wagon. Brown bodies, DT's bagging with the pants sagging. Claim saved in contracts with the seven-headed dragon. Looking for pardons through the officers of the courts. Moors are held as shadow inquisition forts. Some still on the corks, coke in a can. Turn your pioneers to stone and your blood to sand. Brain dead masses under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay. Brain dead masses are under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay.
The job of resurrectors is to wake up the dead on this mic in full life. Off with the head of the beast and its puppets. With love we serve justice, the first of the earth, the last to get fucked with. They corrupted, the vows being purged back to basics. Withdraw from the matrix, recover what's sacred. No more colorable statuses, fiction apparatuses. I affirm and declare, indigenous we everywhere. Circle the seven with our own vine and fig. Du jour for the people, by the people, there it is. Cleaning up the lies, 5 noble tribes. Navigate with the stars, in tune with the tides. More love, more light, oh Lord on our side. For the record, the mission is to know self-perfected, corrected, gold and silverback, sword protected from the depths to the heights. We the essence, that's right.
Brain dead masses under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay. Brain dead masses are under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay.
Sometimes it's good to talk, most times it's best to listen. At times you're always dull, certain times it just glisten. But the mission and the test and the challenge is to overstand the difficulties of the balance. But when you try to build your palace or your temple, it's decomposing flesh. The more you don't clean the physical, the more you smell like that. Don't seek the spiritual, you're gonna get left. Certain crucial, key, vital, essential steps that have to be taken before you take your last breath. But I guess most of y'all can't be bothered, but I bet millions more will be slaughtered. Our public figures keep going out like martyrs. Too much shotters, we need more fathers to raise the daughters. Lord of mercy, the ghetto youth thirsty, but we still brain dead.
Brain dead masses under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay. Brain dead masses are under mind control. Brain dead masses have lost their soul. Listening to rappers get continuous airplay. They mind control the masses, that's not hearsay.
We have traveled a long way and have seen many curiosities, but none as perplexing as a planet we stumbled upon called Earth.
I saw a freeze of a new 1439, who's coming 1492, please. Time ain't nothing new. My little nut was stage 3, really only 2. Sun's bright, say he went there last year. It was past Wednesday at 2:52 afternoon. Sun giant still walking. Think they eat cake? End up steak stuff on steel plates. If Moors don't wake from the dream state, it's season for the meal. T-Rex for the pet, we take thigh or the heel. Take time, you laugh now, skip my tape. If Moors don't wake from the dream state, it's season for the meal. T-Rex for the pet, we take thigh or the heel. Take time, you laugh now, skip my tape. Have a field day. Big jaw, stop the 2 feet, turban and feathers. New clan with your cool feet. Parade can't go fit with the 2 keys. 2 elect stepping, each side, everything jump. Hide if you quick, or you just stomp. Looking like a 2-cent stamp, length and width of land of the Nadi.
Sons of God and daughters of earth in the flesh. This is no myth, research the legends of Gilgamesh. Preserve human skeletal fossils, surprise. Scientists and archaeologists know all my heads are life-size. Keep my ancestors' giant femur bones in museums. Titans fighting Tyrannosaurus Rex in Greek Colosseums. Slap pterodactyls out the air, riding thesaurus. Walking, leaving footprints in granite floors. Advocating for baths, resisting Christian doctrine. First ayah high beams when sight is locked in. We are not speaking elephantitis or giantism. Look us up, we found in journals in Hinduism. Similar stories told in multiple cultures. Sumerians 12-foot axes for agriculture. Grapes, 4 in the hand, watermelon-sized onions. Jack-sized beanstalks, not Goliath or Bunyan. Mines can't grasp giant Wast and Cyrus. Sidon Trident was forged by 3 giant Cyclops. With 1 eye, get your head, sons of man, heckle 'em. Claiming Canaanite makes us Enoch's Nephilim.
A giant's born. Notice that birth within large forms in such a way statues from back in the day were actually the norm. Able to perform feats with large blocks of concrete and carving in diorite, ensuring facial features right at heights 8+. If bones is what we trust to say dinosaurs exist, then human giants must. A lust for information has encouraged many chasing forms of evidence like ancient documents and footprints. My logic is what makes sense. There's no defense to ideas, just what is and is not clear. Then I hear that some say it was an exaggerated way in which they were presented. The artist intended simply to represent the personas with the idea of great, and in that endeavor they cleverly chose to elaborate. Rarely invest in debate, just state perspective and objective. Yes, I think they feel the real and promote proof in our collective.
Giants aren't scary. Not even their terrifying leader. A monstrous giant with 2 heads.
Keep reading, Mother. It's just a story.
Is it?
Here we go. Raka! North Star! That way. The North Star stop way. Canaanland Moors. Read our pay every day. Uplift the feet cause we all base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before is still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more ways. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules our verse. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle semis first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. No, but Drew X, do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the highest authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Coffee, whirlwind times 2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the worst government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? It makes no sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmec features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty Moors and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point, spirit messages never off, inner realizations, encounter the higher selves, next plane existence, explains my consistence. Without a foe you never know, so pass most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress, metaphysic, Kabbalistic, Almaroc mystic, patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic, so indigenous, call me Americanistic, invoking the ancestors, Saracen cryptic, suns on rotation, flows ecliptic, shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic, sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous, recognize the artifice, skin so carbonous, hair so antenna, I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons, in reptilian henna, enlightenment seekers won't find it in mainstream, focus as a laser, stay balanced like a beam, not even a gymnast, whenever I flip this, as above so below, get out when within this, don't think I'm a slave cause I speak in English, Drew Ali the water, watch your flames get extinguished, living in your higher lower self is relinquished, reputation of master teachers, call it distinguished.
Peace, Moors. Islam to all the Moors, all the true and faithful Moors, all the true and faithful Moors. Honors to you, the few faithful Moors. Why exposing and preventing corruption is important? Why? Why? undetected and unchecked corruption in the public sector can cause serious damage, including undermining public trust in government, wasting public resources and money, causing injustice through advantaging some at the expense of others, inefficiency in operations, reputational damage, which makes it difficult to recruit and retain quality staff or obtain best value in tender processes. It may also be more difficult to attract business investment, adversely affecting prosperity. So we're going to take that framework and we're going to apply it to know thyself. So they're talking about public sector. We're talking about Moorish nation. They're talking about public sector. We're talking about in our jurisdiction. They're talking about public sector. We're talking about anybody who says that they honor Noble Drew Ali and all that. Undetected and unchecked corruption in the Moorish nation can cause serious damage, including undermining public trust in government. Undermining public trust in government. So Noble Drew Ali told these Moors in the 1920s, Moorish divine and national movement of the world, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the Moorish Science Temple of America, and then presented a divine constitution and bylaws. For the Moors who say that they're down with him. This document, called Divine Constitution and Bylaws, has 7 acts in it. The cover of the Moorish Quran has a 7 on it. Because all these things are relative. And your perspective about this has been wrong the whole time. Why? Because undetected and unchecked corruption has been running rampant in the Moorish nation. A majority of Moors, they pretty much already know us up. So they just go about doing their own business. They're doing whatever they got to do. Because the corruption was so steep. And it was only so steep because it went unchecked. But why would the corrupt check the corrupt? Same stuff that's going on right now in all these other corporate governments or whatever like that, where the people talk about they don't got rights and they're complaining and marching. These guys are taking advantage of whatever. Same stuff that we're dealing with. But the difference is that all those people, they're going to go take the presidential palace and make the corrupt guy get off the seat. They make him get off the seat. And if he doesn't get off the seat, they're going to go up there and drag him off the seat. Especially if he's corrupt. So when we look at Noble Drew Ali in the 20s, bringing these Moors a constitution for themselves to start governing themselves. And then if you're governing yourself, then obviously you're a government. Why would you be governing yourself but you're a religious corporation? What the hell are you talking about? Why would we, everybody else that they're right now, there's people who are saying Canada's a fraud because it doesn't have a constitution. It has an act, and an act is not a constitution. That was 18 something. 1900s, Drew Ali came, gave you your own constitution. Gave you your own constitution. You tell me that's a religious corporation? You tell me that's a back of the 101 filing Secretary of State, whatever? You're supposed to be governing yourself. He only did all that other corporate stuff, you dumb niggers. Who don't want to be your own government. Using the jurisdiction that he set up to do that. But again, the corruption went unchecked for years. It went unchecked. So now all you're left with is what's left. And whoever's out there that's telling you about sovereignty and secured party this and straw man and authenticate stuff and whatever it is that they're talking about, whatever conference they did, 50 guys were on the stage, all of them were going to show you how to tap into the whatever like that. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care how good it sounds. I don't care if they pull up whatever it is that they say that they did and it worked. If these people don't mention Noble Drew Ali, they're a traitor and a sellout, which is corruption. Which you better check them. Because they're not going to check themselves, obviously, since you don't know that your whole stuff has been undermined by your own. And Noble Drew Ali is the only one who brought you a national government for you to govern yourself. A national religious corporation for you to govern yourself. A divine and national movement for you to govern yourself. All Canaanite temple for you to govern yourself. Constitution for you to govern yourself. Additional laws, not just divine constitution and bylaws, additional laws. Laws on top of these laws that you don't even know about. You tell me you're conscious of something. And you don't know Noble Drew Ali and nationality is the order of the day? You don't know that? You really don't know that nationality is the order of the day. Still. How is it still? Because we're the only ones playing dumb nigger still. And playing race games. Playing people are colors. We're the only ones playing the BS. Everybody else is dealing with national standards. Everybody else has some political leader, whoever guy, that was fighting for the people and all that stuff, and they back him 100. Then he gets assassinated, and then he becomes a martyr, and then they honor him every year, rolling down the street doing parades. Because they have national principles. Our people dumb nigger. They just came off plantation yesterday. What they know about themselves? Know what? You just came off the plantation yesterday. Are you telling Moors what it is? You just came off the plantation. You guys say that you're the niggers and you're on the plantation, white man and all that stuff. Okay, fine, we're riding with you. We're not them. We're Django on the horse. We're going to take slave master's whip his ass because we're the Moors. We're not Negro black colored. We're the free white people. We're the free man on the land. Ain't some modern European. We're the secured party creditor. Moors are the secured party creditor. Moors are that. And he has a Moor, you don't need to authenticate no birth certificate. All you gotta do is honor your prophet and study what he gave you. Figure the stuff out tomorrow. But no, you want that. You want 1500 package. You want a package for 1500. You don't wanna be being this. You want to acquire this somehow. The only way that you're going to acquire this from somebody for 1500 or 5000 or 300 an hour or whatever is because of corruption. Because this is your stuff that you can go on Google yourself and figure this stuff out. Oh, you don't want to use that? Well, use duck orange, whatever the hell you got to use to go search. You look up more in the BitChute? You ever look that up? What do they have Moors on the dark web? What's about Moors on the dark web? Go check that stuff out. Right? Whatever you're checking out. Go on the secret website stuff where you go in the back door where you know you're not algorithm to death. And then put Moors in that and see what comes up. You think something's coming up on this side. But our people love supporting the corruption. Right? Why exposing and preventing corruption is important. We're taking these people's public sector or whatever and applying it to the Moorish nation. Show you why we got problems and they don't. Why we got issues and they don't. Why the percentage of black children in the child welfare system compared to white children, and then they're not talking about any other races that's getting their children kidnapped. You didn't realize you didn't realize it's a black-white game? 7% of whites are in welfare system. 93% of blacks. But there's no other nations? How come you know there are Chinese people getting their house kicked in and their children taken? You don't hear that. All you hear is Negroes going through this. Only Negroes' children suffer? Only Negro children can't make the grade? And the 5 that do, they're going to go work for some Nazis or something like that? Under the guise of they're working for the government? When they should really be working for their nation? Wasting public resources and money. So if we say that we're the Moorish whatever, pay us 1500, we're going to do whatever it is. When 1500 comes in, there's supposed to be something built for the nation. This is not for them to pocket, to go pay their rent or whatever like that, because they don't want to go get a job. That's supposed to go back to the nation. But they've become accustomed to the wasters of public resources and money. They've been wasters of it. What you got? You name me a black leader, orange leader, whoever that did something for you with the finance you gave them. Those Moors we're talking about last night. about BLM and all these people, what they got. How come they got stuff and you got roach cereal? You don't think something's odd that you and the roaches are sharing the glass of milk and all that? But these guys over here, who you gave them all your finance, you gave them all your finance. They got mansions? And you can't even pay the 100 or rent? You gotta go sell your ass to pay rent? And you think that this stuff is fair? Oh, it's not fair because the corruption went undetected and unchecked. You sat on your ass. You thought all these people are in for you because they look like you and all that stuff when all of them sold you out. Sold you out, hung you out to dry. And now you're drying. You're out there, you're on the roof, drying. And nobody's putting suntan lotion on you and all that stuff, and you're mad. Are you mad? Why are you mad? You did not check the corruption. These people, and we're going to use the ones that you know. It was a black guy. It was a black guy who gave up Fred Hampton where he was sleeping. Imagine stuff's hot, right? Obviously they didn't know where nobody knew where he was other than him and whoever he was with. Because it's real interesting. Just a thought. It's real interesting that they were able to get to the front door and him be sleeping while they're inside. How comfy are you if you're just sleeping in your boxers or whatever? You're just sleeping in your boxers. You're pretty comfortable, aren't you? You're not. There's no threat. There's no threat. You're chilling. He was chilling like that. And was a nigger. Who these people are going to say, oh, their brother. Noble Drew Ali said, don't call your brother, call him a dirty Moor. No, that's not my brother. He's a nigger who set up Fred Hampton. That's a nigger. Those niggers who set up Malik El-Shabazz, those niggers in the NOI, who they're going to play games as if they never murdered him. But then look at you. You look at you. They admit to moving out the way so Martin could get shot. They admit that they moved. And what do you do? Oh yeah, nah, that ain't nothing. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna be amused. We're gonna be amused because whoever, we don't even know who it is, but whoever out there is telling us that you need to pay close attention because they're cloning people and oh my gosh, and they got the secret bunkers with the big dummies. As if these people didn't have doubles for generations. They're criminals. Why wouldn't they have a double? Why wouldn't they have a triple or a quadruple? Why not? They got the finance to do that. Like, if you dummies really think that that's Dave Chappelle up there. You really think that that's what's going on? You really think Will slapped that guy? You really think he did that? He really slapped him? Why? Why exposing and preventing corruption is important. Do not let these people get away with their BS. Don't let them get away with it. Don't let them get away with it. Right? I told you. Queen means prostitute. Queen means prostitute. Are any of you mothers out there a prostitute? Then if you're not a prostitute, why are you letting these niggers call you queen? And then you're embracing it as if he called you something of honor. You're a prostitute. That's what you just called yourself. Hussy. And then you play that role. Every time you go live, we gotta see cleavage. We gotta see camel toes. These are conscious people. These are them. It's like Dead Prez showed the ass and then brought the song on. Just because you're a dumbass. And they know that you're dumb. But queen means prostitute. So if you're a prostitute, don't get mad. And again, you uncheck these niggers.
Appreciate it coming out. Yeah. Yes. Peace, how you doing? How you doing, Queen? All right. Huh? Where you from, Queen?
There's no way that you're egomaniac like that. That only people can hear you. And everybody else talking, you can't hear anything they're saying. These niggers are just look at me people. They don't care about you raising your vibration. They don't care about you activating your God self. They don't care about that. They're about playing games with you. Look at me. They're going to dress up like popes now. Now they're going to dress up like popes on some conscious concept. We're taking back the pope stuff. Because they know that the people are dumb. People are gullible. They'll fall for whatever. They'll fall for whatever. They're no different. Everybody getting in there. They want to show something's going on. Stuff been going on since Noble Drew Ali in the 20s. Don't tell me the Queen's dead now. The Queen's been dead. Been dead. Jolly ground Babylon to powder. And guess what the powder people did? Guess what they did after a ground to powder? They didn't do jack. Here comes the sellout Negroes. Here comes the Negro elites. Clean up the mess. Make everything good again. for these people to watch their people suffer while they go on Forbes list and all this BS. They're telling people $500 sandals and all this. Ugliest shit ever. And then Sakina Moore can't sell 800 pairs. But these guys is ugly stuff. Just because they have a name or whatever, they're going to say 600 and then everybody's running. That's zombieism. And if you're a zombie, this is definitely not for you. If you're a zombie, you're going to do zombie stuff. You'll be walking into stuff. You'll be, you know what I mean? Doing dumb stuff because you're a zombie. But the ones who are thinking know that Noble Drew Ali ended European colonization in the 1920s. It's only because of the niggers why these Europeans are still here playing games. Only because of their property, who they're actually Moors. But they don't want to be Moors because, again, the unchecked corruption has you thinking, that this is some religious thing. Oh, I'm not a Moor. We Christian, baby. We ain't Moors. The unchecked corruption has you looking at the fez and why is that a funny hat? KFC bucket hat. Why you got that on? The unchecked corruption is why you're lost right now. Even as Moors with nationality cards and all that stuff, still lost. You're gonna go buy some stuff from some guy in China that he never even used the stuff to leave China and go anywhere. You realize something's up here? Obviously, he got kicked out of this jurisdiction as a ward, and now he's there. And then he can't leave there because he's there under some type of conditions. Because why else wouldn't you use the stuff? If you got stuff that works like that, you'd be going everywhere. If Matt D works like that, then the guy who has how it's like they were saying, whoever billionaire guy, Bentley and all that stuff, he has one t-shirt and 2 pairs of jeans. If Matt D guy has it up like that, I'm taking nothing less than a hand-delivered Matt D. Because if it works, you should be able to just leave China and go deliver everybody's stuff. Personal. Because if it works like that, then you shouldn't be paying for the flight either. Why are you paying for the flight? It should just be show this thing and you go wherever you're going, right to travel, right? No encumbrance, right? No tickets. Highwayman don't stop you if you're exercising right to travel. You got your Moorish plates, you got your whatever. They don't bother you. Okay, so then should be the same thing. And you go on a plane, right? They don't bother you. Just show your thing and go on. Oh, it doesn't work like that, right? That's an illusion. Because these people want their ticket money. Stop playing games. But more so, the dumb public, when you recognize that people are being corrupt, you better say something. Now, I'm just saying, if they're really trying to convince you to pay $1,500 so you can have some sovereignty. And then with this sovereignty, you can, live a life without being bothered by, the fake government that if you're hearing that stuff and your eyes are starting to get glazed and you're starting to fall into, don't fall into the trance. Don't fall into the trance and give up your hard-earned finance to these couch surfers who don't know theirself, but they know how to rape you. That's corruption. And corruption, undetected and unchecked, can cause serious damage. Can cause serious damage. So like we say, buyer beware. Because once you pay, now that's not sovereignty anymore. Once you pay, now that's not rights anymore. So when we're talking about rights after you paid. Because you're not supposed to pay for it. The process is what you do once you proclaim, not some papers. The process is, are you going to be living by these principles now? Not because you got some papers, you go out there and be nigger, and then flash the papers when you get into some BS being nigger. Because that's not how this works. But again, the undetected and unchecked corruption has you thinking that's how this works. When that's not how this works. Somebody just played you for $1,500, $500, $2,000, $5,000, whatever the amount is. They just robbed you. That's corruption. Why would they rob you? They're supposed to be your brother or whatever like that. Aren't they supposed to be your brother? Yeah, well, some people. Let these people take $5,000 from me and not provide whatever service they say they're supposed to be providing. Right? So we get played. Because these Moors are out here doing their corruption. We're not assuming. We're telling you they're doing their corruption. Still. Years after Noble Drew Ali, these sellouts and traders are still around. So you better know how to recognize corruption. And Noble Drew Ali gave you majority of the keys, but remember, the undetected, unchecked corruption is why you don't know. It's why you never even considered reading anything about Noble Drew Ali, because all you know is that, he got some stuff from the Aquarian gospel, and that's all you know. You think that's what Noble Drew Ali is about? What some trader over here told you? What some Moor-hating troll over there said? Oh, wow. That's interesting. I never looked at the Moors from that perspective. Get the hell out of here. Ain't no perspective to look at. You're not Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian, which is African. You ain't none of that. You're Moors. It's that simple. You don't need more. What more do you want? There's nothing more to get. That's the thing. You're greedy. Again, because of the corruption, now you're greedy like them. That because you're a Moor, you gotta get something because you're a Moor. You don't need to get jack. How much dues you paid? How much time you put in? How much boxes you lift? Or you just sitting on your ass, fat and lazy, doing nothing for the nation, but want all the benefits. doing nothing for the nation. Half these Moors out here telling you about some package you ask them, wait, what have you done for the nation? Like, what could you show me that the nation benefited? Don't tell me some individual over there paid you $1,500, they benefited. You know? Because we already know they were dumb enough to fall for your BS. So they don't even come. And these people could show you nothing that they did for the nation. But, you know, like BLM and them people, you go check what kind of car they got. Bet you they're not driving some BS. Bet you don't got the rust on the side and all that stuff. But you got the spanking new stuff with the rims and all that. Bet you they'll clean all the time. They got you messed up because you didn't recognize the corruption. And then we're coming to tell you about the corruption, and you say, but your brothers, why are you talking to your brothers like that? Because it's about unity and we're supposed to have humanity and that's why we suffer. Because we do not recognize the corruption. And when we recognize it, we want to play like it's not there or something. Don't believe these people about Chicago police killed Noble Drew Ali. Moors killed Noble Drew Ali. Moors. That's why when you go to Burr Oak Cemetery right now, you'll be hunting for his stuff for at least 15 minutes. Just because. Moors. Why? Because they took his mausoleum money and gave it to reincarnated prophets in Lincoln Cemetery. If they're the prophet, why would they be buried in Lincoln Cemetery? Oh, because these are the same ones that pulled the Lincoln Reconstruction BS and you naturalize and all that BS. And keep in mind, this is not, this is not some religious corporation. This is government. So these people are corrupt officials. These aren't just some sellouts or whatever. These are corrupt officials of the Moorish nation who sold out to be Negro, black, colored, and anything else, and be everything but Moors. And we're here to bring it back to you. And we've been putting the work in to make sure you get this back. But this is your stuff. And it ain't 1,500 and 20,000 and all that for it. That's why it's called a birthright. But don't think because you're a birthright, you could be out here, I ain't got to put the seatbelt on and all that stuff. And then mad because you went through the windshield. And talk about somebody, the European genocide of the whatever. No, your dumbass didn't have a seatbelt on. You thought you were sovereign. I got the right. You got the right to not wear a seatbelt, you dumbass. Don't be mad that you went through the windshield. Don't be mad that you messed your teeth up on the steering wheel. Don't be mad. Your dumbass should have been wearing a seatbelt. You wouldn't be having issues. You can't talk right now and your teeth are hurting. You want to eat steering wheels to prove you're sovereign. And prove that I'm a Moor. I'm not going to look both ways before I cross the street because there's a divine and national movement and the movement is going to get me to the other side and all this BS. So just make sure, you know, you could use all these little workplace corruption, government corruption, whatever, wherever corruption lies. And you can pull some stuff out and you'll see it right in your face. It's, are you going to be, you know, strong enough? Are you going to be strong enough to say something? Or are you going to just sit there? Let the pedophile be rubbing your son's knee and you're just sitting there watching it happen. Sitting there, just watching it. Nah, he's not going to do anything. He's just, his knee's hurting him. He's just rubbing his knee, it's hurting him. Don't sit there and do nothing when these traitors reveal themselves. Say something. Or you're going to fall victim to the same stuff that you didn't say anything about. Guarantee. Just because you saw it. So because you saw it, you know, it's you can't not see something. You can't not see. Honors to all the Moors who are sincere, who are trustworthy, who are loyal. Honors to the Moors that recognize Noble Drew Ali as the prophet in these last days and times, which is really a beginning. You know, end of times like that. The end of the BS times. Honors to the Moors that recognize the gates. Happy equinox to all the Moors. I will that, you know, your October is harvestful. Hope everything comes out. And even now that you're getting stuff too, because it was actually quite fruitful season this year. Honors to all the mothers for life, because without you, mother, we wouldn't be here, like the master teacher said on numerous occasions. So we thank you. We thank you, Mother, for bringing us here so we could experience this realm. Honors to Marcus Garvey, the forerunner of the Prophet, and honors to Noble Drew Ali. That's the greatest story never told. Noble Drew Ali. Not that Clarence 13X isn't important and all that. Father Allah is important. He put in work amongst the common people. But he didn't do nothing. He didn't do something greater than Noble Drew Ali. No way. There's a countdown. Honors to all the Moors worldwide that are true and faithful. Islam to all.